with the hood up on a car looking at a motor, all right? I want to be side by side with him, put his hand in the scanner, and I want to answer that first question in about the first 60 seconds. What you're looking at is a piece of equipment. We spent over $150 million developing this piece of technology. We have 6 clinicals. I can send them over to you. I can give you a website. You can download them and read those clinicals at your leisure. It's done. I've told him. We spent a lot of money, $150 million, and we've got the clinicals. Question 1's I answered for me, and I'm not going to return to it unless I have to. Question 2, the supplements ain't good. As we're talking about the business, I'm going to say, doctor, I was in a nutritional business. I could spend an hour telling you about these supplements. Here's what I want to tell you. We have over 75 scientists, spent about $60 million developing a product called LifePak Nano. We actually have clinicals, and they're on that same website with the clinicals on the scanner, and I can send them over to you, and you can read them at your leisure. We have all sorts of certifications, Consumer Labs endorsement, National Safety Foundation endorsement, Banned Substance Control Group endorsement. Just for now, accept that these are high-quality supplements. If you decide to do the business with me, we'll spend more time on that. Second question, ask and answer. Did you see that? Got through the first 2 questions in 2 minutes. What question do I want to spend my time on? Money. Guys, when I was in the military, in the Marine Corps, I was in there 22 years. Somebody will ask me, John, did you love it? And I'll say, I loved the Marine Corps with a passion for 19 years. There were 3 years where I had some moments where, and that was the 3 years that I did Arctic training. I was an Arctic training instructor. I spent 3 winters north of the Arctic Circle. And we'd take young Marines and bring them into the regiment, and we'd get guys that had grew up in Hawaii, Florida, San Diego. Some of these guys had never seen that white stuff, right? And they had one word for the white stuff. We called it snow. Now, I had a buddy that trained with me that was out of Alaska, and he had grown up in Alaska, and I mean, this guy was a real Arctic ninja, right? And he'd spent time around the Inouye Indians, the Eskimos, and he tells me that they had like 80 different words for snow, right? See, I think we need to be Inouye-like when we talk this money. I can say money to a doctor about 81 different ways. So when I'm sitting in there, as soon as I walk in, I say, doctor, I got a piece of equipment. We could add $30,000, $40,000 to your practice. Now, I want you to listen to me as I talk. We sit down and I'll say, doctor, we just scanned you. You saw that scan? It took 90 seconds to do that scan. Every time you put someone's hand in that scanner, it's $20. Do you realize if you scan 5 people a day, that would be $100 a day? That would be $25,000 a year. Can you imagine that? Nice linear income. $20 every time you scan somebody. I walked through your waiting room. You had 20 people in the waiting room. You got $400 potential sitting out here in your waiting room if we scan those 20 people. Do you realize if you only scan 50 people a month, it'd be $1,000 a month, it'd be $12,000 a year? I have doctors who routinely scan over 100 people a month. That's $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year. You getting this Inouye kind of thing with the money now? Do you understand that you have to be able to say it? Say, doctor, that is just the fun money. That's just linear cash, just instant cash. It's kind of fun. It's not the real money. Let me tell you where the real money comes from. Real money comes from the sale of the supplements. LifePak Nano. Do you realize that every time you put somebody on that LifePak Nano product, you're giving them a great multivitamin, multimineral, omega-3 oils? I just have to make one comment about the omega-3 thing. When I heard that study, you know, I cried because I lived in Japan for 3 years and realized that the Japanese population is about to all die and go away. Every male in Japan is going to end up with prostate cancer because they eat omega-3 fish every day of their life. I mean, I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a horrible study. I actually looked at that thing and spent less than a second discounting it. Sometimes you gotta see stupid when it looks stupid, right, Chuck?
Yep.
So anyway, sorry about that. So anyway, we got this great product called LifePak Nano. And when you put a patient on that, we're not just going to commission you the first time. We're going to commission you every time that product ships. So when that patient generally is worth about $25 a month to you. $25 a month. That means a patient's worth $300 a year. That means if you would put 100 patients on your product, that'd be worth $2,500 a month or $30,000 a year. Where's the doctor? Who's the new doctor? Where? Some doctor, raise your hand, please. Don't be embarrassed. I know we pick on you. Who's got a practice? How many medical records do you have? 17,000. See, when I hear 17,000, do you realize that if you put 1,000 patients on LifePak Nano, what would that pay a year? If 100 will pay $30,000 a year, 1,000 would pay $300,000 a year. Do you realize if we get 10% of your patients, 10% on product, it's worth $500,000 a year to you? Residually. Do you see that? We don't need all of your patients on product, right? We don't need all of your patients on product. What if we got just 5% of your patients on product? You see how that works? Guys, you got, just think, in terms of 100, every 100 patients is worth $2,500 a month to you. So how hard is it for me to say, what if we just scanned, let's say 100 of your patients a month? There's an extra $24,000 a year there. And what if we only put 10% of those on product? 10% of the 100 would be 120 patients at the end of the year. Let's throw 20 of them out. There's your $2,500 a month. That's your $30,000 a year. And you know what's really neat about this? Is if you scan them and rescan them, we have the highest retention rate in the nutritional industry. Do you know if you try to sell supplements by yourself without a scanner, your retention rate is 10%. You can put 100 patients on product, and you'll end up a year later with 10. We put 100 patients on product. If you'll rescan them, at the end of the year, you end up with 80. Do you realize if you would just add 100 patients to your bank account every year for the next 5 years, that we could add $150,000 a year to your retirement? Guys, are you getting this?
Yes.
So here's what I'm saying. When I walk in and sit down across the doctor, we're having all kinds of conversations, and they go all kinds of different directions. I just have in the back of my mind, I need to get 3 simple questions answered. Is the scanner for real? Are the supplements high quality? And can you make money? And I would submit to you that the biggest of those 3 questions is, can I make money? If I answer those 3 questions correctly, I'll either replace the scanner or I have met with an idiot that I can walk away from and not have to talk to again, all right? Wes, thank you for the time. I think, who's next? Am I last?